Hi, so in this video I'm going to describe why I'm so bullish on Tesla and why I personally think Tesla is going to Mars. So to start out, Tesla recently smashed their latest Q4 deliveries, and this is why Tesla stock jumped up 13.5% in one day on the 3rd of January. This is the single biggest gain since March 2021 and is crazy for a company that has over a $1 trillion market cap. So Tesla delivered a record 308,600 vehicles, smashing the Wall Street estimate of 266,000 and therefore delivering a total of 936,172 vehicles in 2021. The Wall Street expectation for the year was 855,000. This was also 28% more than the previous quarterly record and is an 87% increase from the prior year. This is also the company's 7th consecutive quarterly gain. But if you step back from this, Tesla actually increased sales in the middle of a global chip shortage. This same shortage forced most automakers to idle some plants for weeks at a time and kept them from producing as many vehicles as they had planned. This is a lot to do with how Tesla handled the chip shortage. Tesla had been clever and has close relationships with its suppliers, as well as the flexibility to use different kinds of semiconductors in its vehicles. But this massive increase has huge implications for the share price because it really throws off all of the analyst price targets and really highlights how much they are all underestimating this company's capability. This means the analysts have to change their forecasting models upwards for the next quarter and for 2022 and beyond. This record number of deliveries also means they are likely to report record profits due to them previously not delivering more than 250,000 vehicles. Tesla's most recent automotive gross margin in Q3 2021 was an industry-leading 30.5%, which basically means they make a lot of profit on every car they sell. This definitely isn't the case for all the other auto manufacturers that may see lower margins or may even lose money selling EVs. In addition to this, Tesla has been raising prices throughout 2021 due to the high demand and low supply of computer chips, which is also likely to raise margins in Q4. But we are only just getting started. There are so many more reasons why Tesla is going to Mars. So Tesla's current factory in Fremont was never purposefully built and was an old factory that Tesla made the best of. But their newer factories are designed from the ground up, which gives them a much more efficient production line, which in turn increases margins when producing cars. Giga Shanghai is one of these newer factories, which came online in late 2020, but is not yet producing at full capacity. And Tesla has 2 new purpose-built factories that are about to come online in the next couple of weeks, which are set to boost production this year and are part of the company's goal to deliver 50% more EVs every year. These 2 new factories are Giga Berlin and Giga Texas, and are the largest car factories in the world, ranking position number 1 and 2 in size by quite a considerable margin. Giga Texas is a 2,000-acre site, and if you look at the size comparison of the factories based on this blog by Electric, it's clear to see that Tesla means business. Tesla also pioneered the GigaPress, which is a way of making car bodies with just a few large casted parts. This makes the car more lightweight and cost efficient with simpler production. There's no surprise that other manufacturers are starting to clock onto this and replicate the process. But it's not just the chassis Tesla pioneers on. Tesla claims to have solved some major issues that were preventing the industry from producing bigger cylindrical Li-ion battery cells in a new format called 4680 batteries. Tesla's 4680 battery cells have the potential to be cheaper, more efficient, and therefore enable a longer range or smaller battery packs. In the future, Tesla plans to produce these at their Texas and Berlin factories, so they won't need to be shipped, which in turn will result in lower production costs. They are also working to localize production in other areas to reduce costs and reduce environmental impact from logistics, and currently 90% of Giga Shanghai's supplies are locally sourced. There is a guy called Sandy Munro who's an automotive engineer, and he has a YouTube channel, which I'll put the link to down below, but basically he strips down cars and he's been doing this for over 30 years. He said technology-wise, Tesla are currently years ahead of the competition, and this is a guy who is highly critical, and he has even been critical towards Tesla in the past. There was even a clip from Top Gear in 2021 saying that Volkswagen are about 7 to 8 years behind Tesla. The problem with other auto manufacturers only just starting to produce EVs is that their current internal combustion engine engineers, that's a mouthful, that they cannot just move to EV production. These people will need to retrain, or that manufacturer will need to source new talent. An EV engine is completely different from an ICE engine. And for those of you who don't know what an ICE engine is, ICE stands for internal combustion engine, if I keep saying that throughout this video. In the last year, Tesla released their Model S Plaid, which is insanely fast and is smashing records for the fastest lap around the Laguna Seca and the Nürburgring. If you've not checked out any of the videos from this, then I highly recommend you do. And in the last week, the Tesla Model 3 was crowned as the best-selling car of any type in the UK during December, and was the second most bought car in the UK in 2021. In addition to this, Tesla's cars are also some of the safest on the planet. Also, as more people see and experience a Tesla, it will create a waterfall effect in that they may test drive one and maybe recommend one to someone else, or possibly even buy one. As many people say, once you have a Tesla, you won't want to go back to other auto manufacturers. So currently Tesla produces the S, the 3, the X and Y cars. And yes, that does spell sexy. I don't know if that was intentional, but they are only just getting started with their lineup. Tesla plans to release the Cybertruck later this year, and I seriously want one. Some people think they look ridiculous, and yes, you're right, they do, but it's so ridiculous, it's brilliant. But it's not just me who likes them. Apparently there is about 1.25 million pre-orders for the Cybertruck. And on that note, if you haven't already, then please like this video and subscribe, as it really helps support this channel, and maybe one day hopefully I'll be able to afford a Cybertruck. Thank you so much, I love you all. Now continuing on, they also have the Tesla Roadster on the way, and if I ever become a multi-millionaire, which I don't know if I ever will, but if I ever do, then I'm sure as hell going to buy one of these. I say multi-millionaire because these cars start at $200,000, so this is a serious amount of money. But this car is set to be the fastest road production car ever. They are also rumored to be making a $25,000 car, which doesn't have a name yet, but people online are calling it the Model A or the Model 2, although Elon has said it's not going to be called the Model 2. Apparently sources say Tesla has actually completed prototypes of this in China, so we could see this sometime in the near future. Tesla always planned to start with the high-end cars where you can make the most on margins, then work their way down to the cheaper ones. They also have the semi-truck, which is set to launch this year, but I'll come back to this again in a bit. And there's also rumours that Tesla may release a van in the future to expand into further markets. But looking to the future, there is also going to be a massive demand for EVs as governments phase out the sale of ICE engine cars to reduce carbon emissions. If you're going to buy a new car in the next few years, then you should definitely be considering the resale ability of it as we move towards the point where governments are restricting the sale of new ICE engine cars. A lot of countries have now set dates in the future for when they will ban the sale of new ICE cars, and in the UK this is set for 2030. In addition to this, many countries are putting in infrastructure bills to go greener, which quite often includes charging stations that will help promote the sale of EVs. And do you know who already has a really big charging network that they just opened up to other manufacturers? You guessed it, Tesla. Now, while this is only in the Netherlands, I think at the moment, I expect they will be expanding this over time. Now, what else do you need other than power and a car before getting on the road? Insurance. And guess who's got you covered again? Tesla. Now, while this is currently only offered in a few states, they are currently expanding this across more US states, and they are continuing to roll this out. And this is a high margin business that will likely help Q4 profits. In addition to this, say you've purchased a Tesla, then Tesla also offers servicing and repairs, which is another revenue stream for Tesla. But saying that, EV cars work in a different way to ICE engine cars, and they don't require the same amount of servicing as there's less parts, and because there's less parts, there's less stuff that's likely to go wrong. But there's still more. Tesla plans to make their cars drive themselves with their FSD software. And obviously Tesla aren't going to give away this groundbreaking technology for free. And so this brings in huge revenues after selling a car. Currently, this is offered as a subscription model of $199 a month or a one-off fee of $12,000, which they just put up from $10,000 this week. The beauty of software is that it costs money upfront to develop, but you can repeatedly sell it over and over at no extra cost to the company. Plus, there are no supply chain issues or constraints with software, and Tesla can decide whatever price they want, and we've just seen this in the way they just upped their price by 20%, and therefore potentially increasing their margins unless they've hired more developers to improve the software. Technically, as time goes on, autonomous cars will one day be safer than a human driver, and as the betas of this software progress, there are many reports that it now requires much less human intervention. As much as people may hate it, I believe in the future many cars will drive themselves, and Tesla is at the forefront of this due to the amount of data they are constantly pulling in from every single car they have on the road. No other manufacturer of self-driving cars has this much data, and as they currently have some of the best software, this puts Tesla in a position to potentially even sell this software to other manufacturers in the future. I mentioned before that they plan to release a semi-truck this year. These trucks will one day be able to drive themselves, which means businesses can transport goods many more hours of the day, because while a human should stop driving every 4 hours to prevent tiredness, a robot doesn't need to rest every 4 hours, and it can keep driving till the battery dies. This is going to change the logistics industry, and companies such as Walmart, Pepsi, FedEx, DHL and UPS, to name a few, have already ordered some. Musk even said that the system would eventually allow several units to operate in an autopilot-based convoy, led by a truck with a driver that would even be a cheaper alternative to rail transport. But that's not the end of the beauty of autonomy. Tesla also plans to one day allow Tesla car owners to allow their cars to be used as a robo-taxi. In that, the self-driving car will pick up passengers and deliver them to their desired location with no one in the car. Basically a robotic version of Uber or Lyft. And the thing with this is, people don't even know how to estimate how much this will make because it doesn't even exist yet. So if we branch outside of the vehicle world, Tesla also has an energy business where they sell solar panels, solar roofs for houses, and power walls where you can store your own energy and even live off the grid. And for those out the know, in many places around the world, you can now sell the energy you have created via solar back to the grid. They also create solar panels at the commercial level, and commercial batteries are even sold to utility companies. This side of the business hasn't even scaled up properly yet. And if we look towards the future, Tesla held an AI day last year where the aim was to recruit some of the best people in AI. At this day, Elon said Tesla is technically the world's largest robotics company in the world. He also announced how they plan to make a robot to do boring tasks on your behalf, like cleaning your house or doing food shopping. Now, I personally don't think we will see this anytime soon, but it's an insane thought that a company is working towards this. And if you want to see the rate Tesla is expanding, then check out this graph here by James Stevenson, which shows the quarterly revenue from Tesla over the years and how it's basically growing exponentially. In the first 2 quarters of 2021, they beat the entirety of 2018. Quarter over quarter, this company just seems to grow, and that's even through the pandemic and with supply chain issues. So imagine what's going to happen when Tesla has no supply chain constraints and they really ramp up. Anyway, I recommend you check this guy's Twitter out after the video, so I'll put a link to it in the description below, and go follow him as he has loads of amazing graphs highlighting what Tesla has done. So if we talk about the stock price, firstly, I'm not a financial advisor, and at the end of the day, I'm just a guy on YouTube. So if you want financial advice, you should seek a licensed professional. But analyst price targets have always varied wildly on this because people often saw it as a car company, or sometimes analysts specialize in one area. So when they have to try and put a price target on so many different business areas, it becomes kind of hard, especially if no one else in the world has done this yet. Then the mainstream media doesn't help this by saying things like,
Tesla is now worth more than the combined value of 5 of its biggest rivals: Toyota, Volkswagen, Daimler, Ford and General Motors.
But that's like comparing Microsoft against Adobe, because both Adobe and Microsoft make software, but ignoring the fact that Microsoft has so many other income streams. Currently, as at the 8th of January 2022, we have a street high price target of $1,580, which was reiterated in early December. And there is a low price target of $295, which I personally think is ridiculous. But while I've mentioned these price targets now, I predict these will all be inflated in the next 4 weeks when Tesla announces record earnings and the analysts will have to rework their targets. Cathie Wood, who is a major Tesla bull, expects Tesla to hit $3,000 a share by 2025, which originally I thought was ridiculous, but now it really doesn't seem that out of reach. Bulls are saying Tesla will be a multi-trillion-dollar company by 2030. And the great thing is, Apple just became a $3 trillion company this week, which has paved the way for other companies to do so without criticism. So I don't expect it's long before Tesla goes to 1.5, then to 2, and so on. Now, don't get me wrong, due to Tesla being a volatile stock and the current economic climate with Omicron and inflation, there's a lot of worry in the market. So I'm not saying this is going to be a smooth ride, but what I'm saying is that in 5 to 10 years, or even in the next year or two, I personally think Tesla's share price is going to be a lot higher than where it is today. And I personally think in an inflationary environment, Tesla are going to do well. Because as a company, they can increase prices and not lose demand. They have high margins, they have low debt and high cash. And they can also increase production capacity without spending capex. And we've literally seen this in the past week where they raised their FSD software price by 20%. They can so easily increase their prices without affecting demand. So in conclusion, there isn't many companies in the world that can disrupt so many companies in so many industries. And I'm personally excited to see what the future may bring with Tesla. But what do you think of Tesla? Do you think it's overpriced, or are we going to the moon? Let us know below, and let us know what price you see Tesla having by the end of 2022. I'd love to know, and I read all your comments. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you got any value from it, then please smash the like button, as it really helps the channel massively. Also, if you've got any other questions or comments, then please let us know below. Also, for those of you interested in signing up to eToro and haven't already, then there's an affiliate link down below this video where if you do sign up using it, then I will get a kickback, and it doesn't cost you anything extra, but it really helps support this channel. Also, if you want to learn more about personal finance or investing, I recommend you subscribe and press the bell icon so you don't miss out on any future updates, as I upload new videos every week. It's been Ollie from Get Geek Finance. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.